great to have you here today. Thank you so much. My name is Laurelie Martin. I'm the co-founder of UnitedShare. At UnitedShare, we shape a sustainable and impactful future of energy savings in real estate. Since 20 years, real estate is my passion and profession, so I'm very delighted to have this panel here today. The way we live, the way we work, smart cities and sustainable real estate. This is our topic today. Yeah, we live and work in real estate every day. So it shapes a city like nothing else. But real estate is responsible for 1/3 of all CO2 emissions. And on our green and European road to zero emissions, we need to take action to make cities smarter and real estate more sustainable. So on this panel, we are all making here an impact in different ways, and I'm very delighted to have you here. A warm welcome to Daniel Müller from Bosch. Good to see you today. Nikita Roshkow from AHOY Berlin. And Nils Wagner from REHAU Ventures. Amazing to have you. Thank you so much. First, I would love to introduce yourself. Tell me more about who you are, what you do, and what your solution can make an impact on the topic we are talking today. I would love to start with you, Nils. Tell me more.
Thank you, Laurelie. So, Nils Wagner, today I'm CEO of REHAU New Ventures, the corporate venture building arm of the REHAU Group. I grew up with the REHAU Group because my grandfather actually founded this company 75 years ago as a startup with 2 employees. And at the time, they were dealing with a new technology, which was polymers or plastics. And today, REHAU is a group of 20,000 employees worldwide. We serve different industries, the automotive industry, the construction industry, medical components, and raw material trading. And originally I wanted to do something different, so I actually studied architecture. So I've been fascinated with the built world, decided then to join the family group and make a positive contribution. I think we'll be able to talk about that a little bit later on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Daniel. Great to have you here. Tell me more about your position and what you're doing.
Hi all, my name is Daniel. I serve for the Bosch Group in Bosch Digital as Senior Business Architect and Venture Manager. Our role is to be an internal IT and digital partner and service provider to our Bosch divisions. We have a few here, also at IFA, Bosch Siemens Hausgeräte, at AH1. So feel free to visit the colleagues, and Blue Movement, some colleagues sitting there, wonderful. So my role is actually as a venture manager trying to find out the right startups that fit the business needs we actually have in our divisions and then scale them across the Bosch Group. And that's why I'm here. Very happy to talk to all of you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Blue Movement, I saw them down at the Bosch house. Great guys working there. Thank you so much. Yeah, Nikita, tell me about what is AHOY and tell me more about you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting. Really nice to be here to share my story. My name is Nikita. I'm the co-founder of AHOY Berlin, a co-working center for startups. I founded it 10 years ago. I'm coming actually from a real estate, M&A, business advisory background. But I've decided to take a U-turn, basically after 5 years of working there. And I was amazed by the feeling or by the way of creating new economies, of new startup for Berlin. So that's basically was my original drive. And then after 5 years doing that, I've sold the company to Notel. Back in the days, the biggest competitor to WeWork. We have grown the European sector here, signing big deals with TikTok, Oatly, focusing on companies. Then Corona came, and I had the opportunity to buy back AHOY. That's what I did. And since then, we are focused on the single warriors, on the entrepreneurs here in the city, to create a one-stop solution for startups with the WLOUNGE together. Very much focused on the environment, on our planet, on creating new forms of how we can get together.
Thank you. So you're mostly all from, let's say, different areas, but we all bring it together now. And Daniel, I would love to ask you the first question. How does technology currently affect your daily work life, and how is it supported in corporations with strong manufacturing capabilities like Bosch?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So at Bosch, we have about 420,000 employees at 400 locations. Maybe some of you know, internally we are already CO2 neutral. So that about our sustainability footprint, I forgot the first question. So internally we provide digital solutions, and currently, of course, Gen AI is high on the agenda, but also the metaverse. We have a metaverse lab here in Berlin with our location on campus. And we really try to look into the business problems and find the best technical solutions, either by make, buy, or partner with startups. This is what we are doing. And the nice thing is, for me at least, I really like it. At Bosch, we have those manufacturing locations where you digitize plants, connected industry, getting to I.5.0 industry, and also then moving over to the consumer electronic divisions like BSH or Power Tools, which of course have different needs when you think of automotive industry or consumer electronics. And this is what we bridge digitally. And on the Gen AI side, we have our own ChatGPT platform called Ask Bosch. And a startup collaboration we can mention here is text-to-video use cases by Synthesia. If you know these nice avatars being generated to just save time and money. We heard it before with the gaming industry for trading purposes, communications, product marketing, these kind of things.
Great. Everybody knows Bosch is a big partner here on IFA, so you can visit them just around the corner. And they have a lot of products shown here. And when we talk about real estate, you have a lot of tools concerning real estate, all about the way we live. Those products are getting smarter and smarter by the time. So you're in everyday's life stepping into, and I think it's very important that you do it with a really focus on sustainability. When you visit the booth downstairs, you will see sustainability is there a big part, so it's great to have you here. Nikita, we talk about Berlin and what impact you're doing there. So let me ask, how important is collaboration between different actors like government, private sector, and academia in promoting the smart city agenda we have at the moment here?
Yeah, thank you for asking. I think the collaboration is the secret sauce between the partners, because at the end, a city is a living organism. It breathes. It has all kinds of inputs. And you have the government, which sets the stage. You have the business, and the business is pushing the borders, trying to make it happen. And then you have the academia next to it to collaborate. So if you bring them all together, you're not just solving problems. You are creating a new vision, something which can really make a smart city happen, right? Just imagine a city where on each corner it's designed basically to connect to each other, where software is working in a personalized way to each other, and we can communicate in a much more efficient and deep way. So I think this is the secret sauce, really, which not a lot of cities until now, unfortunately, managed to do.
Great. On the panel before, we heard Michael Beer talking about the importance of getting into the next steps in Berlin and achieve all those goals we are talking about. But I want to show maybe an important focus on what you are doing also here in AHOY. You also focus on sustainability in real estate. This is also a part of, let's say, smart city you're bringing in here, and you combine both, because the smart city and the sustainable real estate you're here implementing at the moment I think is very important also to feed the smart city agenda Berlin has. So what would you say is the biggest problem at the moment you're facing to get everything on track and working?
I think exactly this. So bringing all the players on one table, right? So we are co-working space, startup center, bootstrapped from the beginning, for 10 years, sold it, bought it back. We have different partners. We try to grow, but there's actually not much collaboration between all the players, as we said, between academia, between businesses, between the city, right? If we could all sit down together and make those visions happen, I think that would be the biggest advantage for Berlin.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nils, REHAU's claim is planet before profit and people before product. I love this claim. Please give me an example of how REHAU is making a difference to people in the property industry and the workforce.
Sure. Thank you for the question. I think from the very beginning, our company has tried to address solutions with, or problems with technological solutions. And early on, we actually really lived off of substituting traditional materials with these new polymers, with these technical polymers. So we pioneered, for example, PVC windows back in the 1950s and replaced, energy inefficient and maintenance intensive steel or wood windows with PVC windows. So this allowed people to renovate their homes, to cut down their heating bills. But it also allowed us to start to think really in circularity. So what we would do is we would take post-consumer and post-industrial waste, so from our customers or from construction sites that were being torn down, we would collect these materials and then recycle them. So today we actually operate several recycling facilities worldwide that collect all kinds of polymer waste, upcycle them, and then allow us to introduce them or reintroduce them into the production cycle. And that really is also where the focus is for us in the future. So to make sure that we maximize the recycled content inside our products. We also look at introducing biopolymers, so polymers based on renewable sources into our products. And I think that's going to be a real challenge for us going forward, but that's where we need to work closely with the whole ecosystem that, builds and plans our environment so that we can ensure that none of these materials get lost and that we can always kind of, minimize the use of virgin raw materials and maximize the use of recycled raw materials. And in addition to that, what we at REHAU New Ventures are doing is we're trying to then also address not just the material-based challenges, but really also other problems in the industry. We have, for example, a startup here at IFA, which tries to allocate skilled labor, find skilled laborers, and connect them to companies who are desperately looking for such skilled labor. So we believe that besides our core business, we need to work on new opportunities, build new ventures that address other problems in the industries surrounding our built world.
Yeah, this is very interesting because what you now say is the solution for attracting, let's say, worker employees is also part of the smart city strategy. We always see that we need desperately more people working. The cities want to attract them, and for example, also Nils, you try your best in pushing those startups, and Nikita, you try to give them a space in your co-working, and also Bosch is working on startups and supporting them and has several facilities in this, so this all comes together here, absolutely. But I want to have a look about the way we think about sustainability, and the main part is I want to have a look at ESG. This is a big part. When I was Googling through REHAU's websites and informations, it was interesting that you come not originally from an industry that had sustainability on the table, but in the last years you made an amazing shift towards making the planet better. And please let me know or talk about why this is so important to you.
Well, I think as a family-owned company, we really take thinking in generations literally. So, we're not forced to prioritize short-term earnings. We can really, follow our strategic intentions in a long-term view, and that just allows us to take decisions that maybe will take longer to thrive. I think we can be more forward-thinking than other public-listed companies. And I also think at the end of the day, this offers a unique opportunity for employees to find a sense of purpose. So being a long-term partner, we also invest into our employees. We offer opportunities for them to develop. And I think really there it shows that a traditional family-owned company can really be a responsible, a trustworthy, and at the same time forward-thinking stakeholder in society. And I think having that kind of accountable stakeholders is again going to be important if we want to address some of the serious challenges that we're facing. And we can get into the seriousness of some of these challenges maybe also a bit later on. I mean, the built world needs to change radically if we want to meet sustainability targets, if we want to meet climate targets. And unfortunately today, the gap is absolutely huge. So that's, again, where we as a family-owned company take these challenges seriously and really try to work in a very focused and persistent manner at helping to address the challenges.
Yeah, this is great. Daniel, when I was going through the idea of Bosch and sustainability, I was really surprised. You have an amazing sustainability report, and on your agenda is also what you want to achieve within Bosch. And on their road map is absolutely everything supporting sustainability. Is there anything we would say, okay, this is for you personally important to present at Bosch, what they are doing at the moment?
I would like to take two flight levels. One is the global one, and one is the, let's say, very personal one at your own home, no matter where this may be. On the international level, Bosch has been investing a lot in getting the right partners, the right supply chains, to really take all the regulations we have in Europe seriously and implement this globally, also at considerable cost, of course, and also consulting other companies with Bosch Climate Solutions, what can be done, but also targeting, let's say, the developing and, let's say, emerging markets of the future properly. So we're about to open a new plant in Egypt by BSH to really tackle also the African markets. They have different requirements there, but really having this global perspective and work on this globally. Now, from the planet to your home. So what I personally like at home is to get a good mixture of automation, making things easier. Think of robots, think of simple ones like lawn mowing or vacuum cleaning, or the more, let's say, innovative ones and still more expensive ones like personal assistants, not just speech assistants, but practical assistants to get your chores done, smart fridges, and I mean, heating and ovens we already offer now, but there will be way more integration, and coupling this with energy management. And I want to take the energy management part and add, because you're also well versed in this, energy management and distributed ledger to have pay-per-use fair, but also think of mobility and connect this. And I want to take here a non-Bosch example of a local energy supplier in my Black Forest home county. They are called Dear Mobility Solutions. They focused on just producing energy, and they thought, hey, we do electricity, so we could also do e-mobility. And this is what they offer. We have this at home. Our second car is a shared car, an electronic vehicle. We can book via the app. We charge it via our own solar panels, and at night at the smart heating system. And I think this is a first glimpse of what especially industrialized homes should look like in the future, to be really sustainable, to share things, but also to privately own things and have the right combination of both worlds.
Yeah, sharing is a great opener for Nikita again. Nikita, you share workspace, but just more than space, you also share community and support in what you're doing there. So tell me a little more about why you think you also have the social component and the community-driven effect that is very important for your workspace.
I think a workspace is being shaped by the team and by those people who are founding it. They're like the living soul of that project. So by default, my place or AHOY or those places we do as a team, they are built, designed from the workplace strategy part to all other parts in a way that a community can flourish. So you have different options, basically, how you can connect, right? You can connect with the people around you. You can connect with yourself, right? And this you can do in different ways. So that's how we build our spaces. We build a space so you can have your private time with yourself. You can do your calls. You can do your work. Then we have those areas, public areas, where you can just go out and meet your customers, your clients. And then we have collaboration areas, right? Conference rooms, event spaces, places made to design for people to come and to collaborate. So I think there are a lot of different parts which are interconnected with each other, and and at the end it's the focus, right? If you put the focus on the community and if you put the focus on the environment, you will make it happen. And there are just different ways, and they all will lead you to Rome, as they say.
Yeah, I love this approach. So I want to one step back, because in real estate, most of the achievements concerning sustainability is unfortunately not driven by, let's say, great ideas or the power of family. It's mostly driven by legal regulations. So I want to know if you are affected about the, let's say, European Green Deal and all ESG regulations coming up. Do you have, this is my question for you mainly, Nils, do you have the feeling that this is a positive effect in your industry, or is it something it was clear it needed to come?
Well, I think, regulation in terms of how buildings need to conform, in terms of energy efficiency, in terms of also CO2 footprint, are probably inevitable. And I think it makes absolute sense that these things are regulated, that standards are defined. That actually has led to progress in the construction industry. The construction industry is per se a very conservative one for good reasons, right? It's we've been doing it for thousands of years, and we've really learned that it's terrible if something goes wrong when you are building something. That it really is the DNA of the whole industry, is to be conservative and to use methods that are just absolutely tested and reliable. So, in such a situation, you do have to kind of force progress, and we've made progress over the last 20 years. We can now have buildings that are, net positive in terms of actually being able to feed energy back into the grid. So they generate more energy than they actually consume. We still have huge challenges in all the embodied CO2. That's an area where we definitely need to make much more progress. It basically, though, brings me to a much more fundamental challenge. I mean, the challenge for the industry is not regulation. Since we're in Germany now, if we think about the fact that Germany needs to be building 400,000 new housing units every year, and they're barely achieving half of that. If we think about the fact that Germany should be renovating 2,500 housing units a day to meet the Paris climate targets, and again is not even achieving half of that, we just have such a huge fundamental problem in this industry. This industry is actually not increased in productivity. It's actually had a productivity decrease over the last decades. So these are absurd situations where you have regulation on the one side, but things just aren't happening on the other side. And the reasons are manifold. I mean, obviously now, short term, it's interest rate, which affects the industry very much, but the whole financing cost that has increased, combined with just overall cost rise and inflation, have really kind of changed the whole economics. In Germany, you have private homeowners who are totally insecure about what is the direction for regulating private home a renovation, so they're not doing anything at the moment. And then again, there's a huge issue that even if you want to build something or you want to renovate your home, you don't find the necessary skilled craftspeople. So these are, just very fundamental challenges that actually, all the different players in the industry need to kind of get their heads around, because otherwise all of these goals and standards that we define will just not be met.
Yeah, that's a good point. And this is also why I want to know from all of you, what technology-driven innovation in the real estate sector are you most excited about? I would love to start because for me is absolutely interesting, and I'm absolutely excited about how behavior change of tenants' energy consumption will develop the next years, because 80% of all energy in real estate is consumed by the tenants. So this is a big point that I'm really curious about. So please let me know, Nikita, what do you think? What is the next big thing in real estate?
Oh, I think there are a few. If you ask me, I am very excited about the topic of commercial real estate and of private real estate, and of how we think about it, not as units but as platforms. So since the pandemic, I think the borders between where you work and where you live are getting smaller and smaller, and the perception of what is a place and how you live there and where you work is an interesting one. On top of that, I would say the very interesting direction, which is very intriguing also for me, is the blend between physical and digital spaces. So where spaces are created in the digital world by communities within the country, the city, and they are making really nice stuff there.
Great. Daniel, what are your thoughts about it?
I would like to add to this, coming also from this blend of where you work and where you live. I can give an example even with our unit, Bosch Digital, here in Berlin and other locations. We've introduced campus management because the nature of office buildings and spaces completely changes, even within corporates, where you really think, okay, when people come to office, it should be a time of creativity, a time of innovation, a time of collaboration, while, of course, when they are focused, you should just leave them alone. At least that's our smart work policy at the moment. And I personally really like this, and I think we will see more of this tech, location, and people blend happening, just happening.
Great. Let me know what you think about it.
Look, the built world, it's all about getting things done physically. And like I said before, there's a huge need for productivity increase. And, in that sense, I think we're at an interesting time in construction tech and property tech because there has not been a lot of disruption. Progress has been rather incremental. And, I talked about Germany before, very similar challenges we see in the U.S. market and in Asian markets as well. The lever for significantly increasing productivity through technology is huge. And so that's generally what I'm excited about. I'm excited about AI making processes a lot leaner and a lot faster, and not just for large construction companies. A lot of the work is still done by small enterprises. And I think, what we're seeing in that space really allows for new tools that make AI accessible for small companies and allows them to significantly reduce administration costs, allows them to work more effectively and then get more jobs done in the same amount of time. On the other hand, we then see also interesting develops now in terms of robotics. So really, taking care of some of the heavy lifting on construction sites. For sure, still a long way to go there, but we're really seeing now first implementation on job sites, and I think we'll see a lot there. And I think it really is a chance for that whole industry to transform, where you have less and less really skilled laborers that are able to just work in a much more productive way. So less people that have a higher level of education that can ultimately then get a lot more jobs done. So I do venture to say we're kind of at the cusp of a significant transformation in a way that we have not seen over the last few decades. So that's a lot to get excited about in that space of the built world, actually.
Great. Last words. I just wanted to tell you, you're all working and driving and supporting startups in your own special way. And I want to thank you because I think this is the only way we will solve the future problems, supporting new ideas, new technologies. And it's very great you have been here at the IFA today. And I wish you all the best for the rest of the fair.
Thank you, Laurelie.